Imagine waking up to a world where one of the most influential technology companies on the planet, a giant that helped shape the very fabric of our digital lives, is about to let go of tens of thousands of employees. Not because its business is faltering, but because it is making an audacious bet on artificial intelligence. This isn't a scene from a dystopian film or a wild Silicon Valley rumor. This is the new, unfolding reality at Microsoft. And as the artificial intelligence revolution sweeps across the business world, the consequences for workers, investors, and the very future of technology are more far-reaching than ever before. To understand how we got here, let's take a step back. Microsoft has always been a master at adapting to technological waves. In the 1990s, it rode the personal computer boom to dominance. In the early 2000s, it pivoted towards enterprise software and cloud computing, ensuring its relevance in a changing world. Now, as we stand at the dawn of a new era, the wave Microsoft is riding is more like a tsunami: artificial intelligence. In the past 12 months alone, Microsoft has escalated its investment in artificial intelligence to levels rarely witnessed in corporate history. The company has set aside an eye-watering $80 billion United States dollars for capital expenditure in this fiscal year. But this isn't just money in the bank. It's being plowed into something concrete: a global network of state-of-the-art data centers. These data fortresses are the backbone of the artificial intelligence age, built to deliver the immense computing power needed for machine learning, natural language processing, and the next generation of smart applications. Why such a massive investment? Simply put, the appetite for artificial intelligence is insatiable. Across industries, from finance to healthcare, logistics to education, businesses are clamoring for tools that harness the power of machine learning. Microsoft's Azure cloud platform has become the go-to solution for many of these enterprises. In just the second quarter of fiscal year 2025, enterprise adoption of Azure's artificial intelligence services exploded by 65%. This isn't just typical tech sector growth. It's a tidal wave of adoption, signaling a radical shift in how companies operate. Inside Microsoft itself, artificial intelligence is no longer an experiment. Between 30 and 40% of all new code written across Microsoft's vast array of software projects now originates from artificial intelligence systems. Imagine that. Nearly half of the code powering products like Windows, Office, Teams, and even Xbox is being generated not by human hands, but by algorithms. The implications are profound, not only for software development, but for the entire workforce behind these products. And it is not stopping there. 70% of Microsoft's enterprise customers are now exploring artificial intelligence to automate everything from customer service to sales, from logistics to finance. These clients are not just dabbling, they are investing millions of dollars to fundamentally transform their businesses, hoping artificial intelligence will give them an edge over the competition. For Microsoft, this is both an opportunity and a challenge. The company must stay ahead in the arms race of artificial intelligence while ensuring that its own organizational structure can adapt. But as the headlines trumpet Microsoft's artificial intelligence triumphs, a more unsettling narrative is emerging beneath the surface. As of June of last year, Microsoft's global workforce numbered over 228,000 employees, a small city's worth of programmers, engineers, marketers, and support staff. Yet, after cutting around 6,000 jobs in May, a move that sent shockwaves through the tech industry, insiders report that another round of layoffs is imminent. This time, the cuts could run into the thousands once again, with a significant focus on sales teams, but by no means limited to them. This isn't a matter of trimming the fat. It is a radical re-engineering of the company for an artificial intelligence-first future. Microsoft's CEO, Satya Nadella, has been frank about the necessity of this restructuring. In his own words, it's about realigning teams towards artificial intelligence to capture new opportunities. For Nadella, these moves are not just about cost savings. They are about survival in an era where artificial intelligence is rewriting the rules of business. At the same time, some on Wall Street are skeptical. Keith Weiss, a leading analyst at Morgan Stanley, has asked pointedly, how exactly will Microsoft monetize its gigantic artificial intelligence investments? And Gil Luria, an expert at D.A. Davidson, argues that such layoffs are essential simply to manage the crushing financial pressures that come with pouring tens of billions of dollars into new infrastructure. For Microsoft's employees, the uncertainty is deeply unsettling. Dario Amodei, CEO of the cutting-edge artificial intelligence company Anthropic, has warned that technology executives across Silicon Valley are quietly preparing for a wave of mass layoffs, as artificial intelligence becomes sophisticated enough to eliminate many entry-level roles. This isn't just a prediction, it's a warning shot for the entire technology workforce. Microsoft, for its part, says it will reskill 10,000 workers displaced by automation by the year 2027, offering artificial intelligence-focused training. But can upskilling really keep pace with the breathtaking speed of disruption? There are layers of tension here that go far beyond simple economics. As Microsoft doubles down on artificial intelligence, critics are growing wary of both job displacement and thorny ethical dilemmas. An analyst at Forrester Research put it bluntly, "It's not just about technology, it's about fundamentally changing how companies manage time, priorities, and people." In other words, as artificial intelligence systems take on more tasks, what happens to the traditional roles and skills that have powered Microsoft for decades? Will the company's DNA be fundamentally reshaped or even lost? The next wave of layoffs is expected to be announced as soon as the fiscal year ends, perhaps within weeks. As rumors swirl in Redmond and beyond, a single question echoes through the halls. Is Microsoft's all-in gamble on artificial intelligence going to secure its dominance for the next generation? Or will the social and human cost provoke a backlash that even a tech titan cannot control? Let's dig deeper into Microsoft's artificial intelligence transformation. On one side, the potential rewards are enormous. Microsoft's Azure artificial intelligence services have already seen enterprise adoption skyrocket by 65% in just one quarter. More than two-thirds of Microsoft's business clients, from Fortune 500 corporations to fast-growing startups, are now exploring artificial intelligence-driven automation for everything from sales to customer support. The company is committing nearly $50 billion over the next decade to build massive new data centers, creating the technological foundation for an artificial intelligence-powered world. But this pivot is not without risk. Keith Weiss of Morgan Stanley cautions that while the scale and ambition of Microsoft's artificial intelligence investments are impressive, turning these innovations into real, sustained profit is far from guaranteed. The landscape is fiercely competitive. Amazon and Google, two of Microsoft's most formidable rivals, are pouring their own billions into artificial intelligence platforms, hoping to seize the lead. Frank X. Shaw, a senior communications chief at Microsoft, describes this moment as the dawn of artificial intelligence agents, software tools that can streamline and in some cases even replace the work of entire developer teams. If Microsoft can master this new paradigm, it could redefine not only how software is built, but who builds it. The human side of this transformation is every bit as complicated as the technology. Inside Microsoft, demand for artificial intelligence talent has soared by 75% in the last year, with internal job postings reflecting a scramble for data scientists, machine learning engineers, and ethical artificial intelligence specialists. Yet for tens of thousands of traditional technology workers, uncertainty hangs over their future. Dario Amadei's warning about the elimination of entry-level roles is not just theoretical. Similar patterns are already being seen at other tech companies, where automation and artificial intelligence are erasing the need for routine programming and support positions. Microsoft's response to these challenges has been twofold. First, the company has invested $500 million in its Artificial Intelligence for Good initiative, with the aim of leveraging new technologies to solve complex societal problems, from healthcare to sustainability. Second, Microsoft has pledged to retrain 10,000 workers displaced by artificial intelligence-driven automation by the year 2027, helping them acquire new skills in data science, artificial intelligence ethics, and advanced programming. However, as critics point out, these efforts may be dwarfed by the sheer scale of disruption sweeping the industry. Regulatory and ethical challenges are looming ever larger. As artificial intelligence becomes embedded in Microsoft's products and services, concerns about data privacy, algorithmic bias, and the potential for job loss on a global scale have drawn the attention of policymakers and watchdogs from Washington to Brussels. If regulators in the United States or Europe decide that Microsoft's artificial intelligence offerings pose a risk to consumers or the labor market, the company could face significant fines, restrictions, or even forced changes to its products. As one Forrester analyst observed, this is not just about adopting new technology. This is about fundamentally reorganizing how people work and how companies manage time, productivity, and priorities. To put this in perspective, consider the historical parallels. In the early 19th century, the Industrial Revolution transformed manufacturing, automating tasks that had once required thousands of skilled artisans. While productivity and profits soared, social upheaval followed. Entire classes of workers were displaced, leading to protests, riots, and eventually sweeping reforms. Today, the artificial intelligence revolution is echoing those same patterns, but at digital speed. The stakes are even higher, as the technologies in question promise not only to replace manual labor, but to automate cognitive work itself. So, what does all this mean for you, the viewer? First, it is a wake-up call for anyone in the workforce, especially those in technology, business, or creative roles. The demand for artificial intelligence-related skills is skyrocketing, not just at Microsoft, but across the global economy. Whether you are just starting your career or are a seasoned professional, learning how to work with artificial intelligence or even how to build it is quickly becoming essential. According to Microsoft's own internal data, artificial intelligence now generates between 30 and 40% of new code in the company's software projects. This means that the jobs of tomorrow will look very different, blending technical know-how with creativity, critical thinking, and a willingness to adapt to rapid change. For leaders and entrepreneurs, the message is equally clear. Ignoring artificial intelligence is no longer an option, but simply investing in artificial intelligence tools without a thoughtful strategy is risky. The companies that will thrive in the coming decade will be those that balance relentless innovation with responsibility, reskilling their teams, building robust ethical guardrails, and staying agile in the face of technological and regulatory upheaval. Let's talk about the personal stories behind these trends. Consider a sales manager at Microsoft who, after a decade of building relationships and closing deals, is told that her team will be reduced because artificial intelligence-powered agents can now handle routine client interactions. Or a software engineer who once spent weeks writing code, now collaborating with artificial intelligence systems that produce functional prototypes in hours. For some, this is empowering, a chance to focus on higher-level strategy and creativity. For others, it is a source of anxiety, as the skills they have spent years developing suddenly seem less essential. The ripple effects extend far beyond Microsoft's own walls. As one of the world's largest technology companies, Microsoft sets trends that others follow. When it slashes jobs or pivots towards artificial intelligence, it sends a signal to the rest of the industry, and to policymakers, educators, and workers everywhere. Already, companies from insurance to entertainment are racing to adopt artificial intelligence solutions, seeking to cut costs and boost efficiency. But as the pace accelerates, questions about fairness, transparency, and social responsibility become ever more urgent. There is also a geopolitical dimension to Microsoft's artificial intelligence gamble. Nations around the world are investing heavily in artificial intelligence, viewing it as both an economic engine and a matter of national security. China, in particular, has set ambitious goals to become the world leader in artificial intelligence by the end of this decade, pouring billions into research, infrastructure, and talent development. For the United States and its leading technology companies, maintaining a competitive edge in artificial intelligence is seen as critical not just for profits, but for global influence. So, what are the scenarios for Microsoft's future as it bets everything on artificial intelligence? One possible outcome is a dramatic reshaping of the company's workforce, where artificial intelligence-related roles dominate and traditional software engineering positions dwindle. This could create opportunities for those with the right skills, but risks leaving behind thousands of workers whose expertise is suddenly obsolete. Another scenario involves intense regulatory scrutiny. As Microsoft's artificial intelligence-powered products become more powerful and pervasive, concerns about data privacy, discrimination, and social impact could trigger investigations, lawsuits, or new laws. Already, European regulators are drafting strict guidelines for artificial intelligence, and similar debates are heating up in the United States Congress. If Microsoft is seen as moving too quickly or irresponsibly, it could face not only reputational damage, but real limits on its business. A more optimistic future envisions significant revenue growth, as Microsoft's artificial intelligence investments pay off in the enterprise sector and beyond. If the company can maintain its lead over rivals like Google and Amazon, it could define the next era of computing and secure its place as the world's most valuable technology company. Yet even in this best-case scenario, the pressures of constant innovation, ethical dilemmas, and global competition will remain intense. And here is a secret that is not making headlines. Microsoft's high-profile layoffs and massive artificial intelligence spending are not just about chasing the next big thing. They are about survival. Satya Nadella and his leadership team are making a calculated bet that if they do not make these painful, sometimes unpopular changes now, Microsoft could be left behind as the next generation of technology giants emerges. The stakes are existential. If they get it right, Microsoft could shape the future of work and technology for decades to come. If they miscalculate, they risk undermining the very foundation of their success. Is Microsoft's artificial intelligence gamble going to pay off, or is the backlash just beginning? The answer is that the stakes have never been higher. Since the start of the year, Microsoft's stock price has soared by 35%, a clear sign that investors are optimistic about the company's artificial intelligence future. But the true test will come in the years ahead, as the impacts ripple through the workforce, the marketplace, and society at large. As artificial intelligence transforms not just Microsoft, but entire industries and nations, the choices we make now will shape the world our children inherit. Will artificial intelligence make our lives better, freeing us from drudgery and unlocking new forms of creativity? Or will it usher in a world with fewer jobs, greater inequality, and more uncertainty? The answer is not set in stone. It will depend on the vision, wisdom, and courage of leaders, workers, and citizens everywhere. So, what do you think? Is artificial intelligence poised to make our lives better, or are we headed for a future where opportunity shrinks and uncertainty grows? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you want to stay ahead of the next big shift in global technology and economics, be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. Together, we can explore the challenges and opportunities of this